So here are my two Series 1s, 1955, 56 model year, 86 inch, and a 1956 107. All here, ready for the rally, parked up, sitting in the shade. What can we tell you about them? Well, my 1986, my 86 inch Land Rover I've had now for 35 years. The hard top's just been on it over a year. If you look on the front, you can see we've got a capstan winch, and also you'll notice underneath I've got a ball hitch, which is rather useful for shunting trailers about. Inside it's a pretty much standard used Land Rover, not exactly concours by any shadow of a doubt, but it's tidy, functional, everything works. Gained a few dents over the years, but it's not too bad. Whoops. But, one thing I did do a long time ago, when the back corners got damaged, I put some little cappings on the bottom there, very much like a station wagon top capping, and it just tidied up the corners and hides a lot of the dents and cracks. Back view, still yet got to put the Land Rover badge back on after I last sprayed it in 2001. Still got its agricultural drawbar on the back. Not much else to tell you about that really. I quite like the patina on the hardtop. Hardtop came back from Australia and I bought it off of John Holmes, and it kind of aged well with the rest of the vehicle, so I've just left it as it is with a mixture of the old limestone on it and some white in there as well. So inside the back we've got some nice flaky paint, probably a few spiders. Yeah, not much to see here really. Standard 2 litre under the bonnet. It's the same 2 litre I've had in it ever since I bought it. It had been rebuilt just before I bought it, and apart from changing head gaskets and a new set of valves, it's really had no other major attention since. Has all the factory standard oil leaks. View from the front, just to point out my distributor. It came off an old Austin 1100, that's been there nearly 35 years now, and does the trick, no problems whatsoever. I don't run a vacuum advance retard with it, never have done, and it chugs along quite nicely. So there you have it, that's my 86 inch Land Rover. Specially polished for the event, as you can see, although I don't rate this virtual polish very much at all. Right, so my 107 truck, scruffy looking old thing, but despite its scruffiness it's a really good runner, and it's on a very good chassis. It's a galvanised chassis. Now the eagle-eyed of you will probably notice that actually that looks very much like a 109 sized wing on the front, which indeed it is. That's because when the chassis was replaced, the replacement chassis turned out to be a 109 chassis. You also notice there's a few little mods on this one, like a filler at the back, because I've got a big petrol tank underneath at the back there, which holds 15 gallons as opposed to the normal 10, and I could have the other tank under the driver's seat, but I don't at the moment. So I've got a side exhaust rather than a whole exhaust system that runs out the back. That's because it was knocked up out of bits and pieces. I don't know whether you can see them under there, but there's parabolic springs, the big rear springs. I've got the 4 leaves on the long wheelbase. I find them too hard actually. I think I'd sooner have gone with standard springs had I known. And I can see that the mice have been building yet another nest in the back cross member, so I shall have to rake that out. And yeah, he's not restored at all, he's just run, and it's quite a reliable old vehicle. You just can leave it for ages, come down, press the button, and it'll start. It's quite a good old truck really. The indicators are Land Rover, but the bottom lenses, the bottom light units I bought them I think for about a £5 or something. They came from a some old sort of truck, I think. It's all pretty rough and ready inside, just like a working truck should be. You'll notice I've upgraded to pendant pedals, and it has an overdrive. As you notice, nice little natty knob on there, which is out of focus, which came off a wardrobe because I couldn't find the original plastic knob, but that works quite well. Not much else to say about it really. It's a truck that works for its living. Okay, it only works sometimes, but normally these days whenever I start him up it's because I've got a job for him to do, and it's full of dirt or shingle or wood or some such like that. So under the bonnet we have those most desirable of engines, the 2 1/4 diesel, which although everyone knocks, I think are actually quite a good old motor. And my old station wagon, I did thousands and thousands and thousands miles on a 2 1/4 diesel, and despite it being a bit noisy and a bit slow uphill, it was great, and I was getting 30 odd to the gallon. When I took this up to Kelso, all the way from the south coast, I was cruising along at about 50 on the motorway. I was getting about 32 to the gallon, believe it or not. Yeah, so they're not entirely to be sniffed at, but I quite like them, and as I say, it's reliable. So there's my two. Although the engine I am going to replace with a TDI at some point. I've got a donor vehicle waiting over here for that job.